Today, on Be Something Wonderful, you're not remembering the past, you're creating it right now. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and these are the studios of Be Something Wonderful, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, good morning and welcome back to the studios of Be Something Wonderful. One of you reached out to say, Tom, I still haven't manifested what I want and desire yet. I'm still not yet that identity and that person that I desire to be. I'm still not yet living that dream life that I want to live. And I don't know where the block is. Now, we've talked about the idea that there are no blocks other than the ones that you create here and now. But let's talk about this. Then what is the block that you're creating? The biggest block to manifesting, creating, becoming, perceiving, or receiving everything you want and desire to be and have is your assumption or belief or persistent thoughts or the truth or what you believe is true about yourself in reality. Your assumption that you have not yet manifested and have not yet become that which you want and desire to have and be. That's it. You stand in this all-powerful present, right? It's the now moment. The only moment there is, the only time there is. You call it the present and you treat it like a placeholder. Just a little placeholder where you remember a past where it has not happened, a present where it hasn't happened yet, and a future that still hasn't come yet. Do you see? You're standing here and creating that idea. That idea that it hasn't happened yet started at some point that you're remembering in the past and believing that it still hasn't happened yet in the present and that the future hasn't yet come. If you recognize this diagram, it's a diagram of the grammatical verb tense, the present perfect. The present perfect is an idea of the past, that we create some relevance or relationship to the present. But none of it is the now moment. Do you see? You call the now the present and treat it like a placeholder where you remember a past, not yet, it hasn't happened yet, that doesn't exist, and a future that it hasn't yet come. Do you see? All that is it hasn't happened yet. And it still hasn't happened. And that doesn't exist, where it hasn't come yet, in a future that hasn't come. You're in this now moment where, remember, there's no past where something didn't or has not happened. There's no present where it hasn't happened or it's happening. And there's no future where it will happen. There's only the now moment where everything is happening, where everything already happened, where everything will happen. Do you see it? We're treating that now moment like a placeholder, trying to figure it out. Why hasn't it manifested yet? Why am I not that person yet? The not yet having and being started at some non-existent point in the past and may or may not continue in the present and the future. But all of that's made up because it's already done. You're just telling that story. Do you see it? And we just keep creating that idea. Not yet, not yet. Remember, there's only existence and there's only now. So the past and future are just ideas that they're not real or reality. You are in this now moment. It's all now. So let's go on. And so you keep looking for answers to why you have not yet manifested your desired future in terms of the past. Wow. Hear this. You stand in this now moment that you call the present as a placeholder looking for answers in terms of the past, saying it hasn't manifested yet. I want to get here, but I don't know how, right? You're looking for answers to why it has not manifested, your desired future. Why hasn't your desired future manifested? And you're looking at that in the terms of the past, right? But the past is not just history. It doesn't exist. Sometimes we use that idea, oh yeah, the past is ancient history. You can't change the past. It's not that. The past doesn't exist. It's a made-up concept or idea. You're creating that past in the now moment. You're creating that past where it had not happened. In a present perfect state where it still has not yet happened, that's still the past. In a future where it may or may not happen, you're creating all of that right now, this whole idea of not yet. This is what A Course in Miracles says. There is, however, no point in giving an answer in terms of the past because the past does not matter. And history would not exist if the same errors were not being repeated in the present. Wow. The Course in Miracles lays it out here. I love that they say because the past does not matter. It's the idea that circumstances don't matter, what every spiritual coach and guru says. Why? Because the circumstances are just the past. Look around, that's the past. They don't matter. It's the dead past that doesn't exist. That's why they don't matter. Only your reality in this present moment, in this all-powerful now moment, that you treat as a placeholder, but it's all there is. Right now is all that there is. You create it all. You're it. You're the center of it. That's why we always say circumstances don't matter. They're always changing in that powerful now moment as your perspective of your viewpoint, of your vantage point is all that is, and all that you are changes. So what are the same errors being repeated that A Course in Miracles is pointing to in the present? What are those blocks or those errors that are being repeated? Using or assuming the present, the now moment, as a placeholder to remember the past where you haven't yet become or haven't yet manifested that desired future that still hasn't come. Wow. Yeah, do you see that? You're using it as a placeholder where you still haven't yet manifested. That started at some imaginary point in the past and it continues where you still haven't manifested that desired future that has yet to come. That's the error. That's why A Course in Miracles, a powerful statement. History wouldn't exist. The past wouldn't exist if we didn't keep making those same errors of remembering things the way we would not like them to be. That's the error. Remember things as you would like them to be. Right? We've talked about this idea that we create everything here and now. Right? By who you assume you are in this present moment. By your definitions and assumptions and beliefs of who you are. You create your past, present, and future by your assumptions of yourself and reality. And the truth of what you say, your truth of who you are and your reality creates it all. And I know some of you want to hang on to that idea. Yeah, but I have evidence. I have photos. I have scars. I have experiences. Those were real. That's the past. But it's only created right now. There's a movie that I've talked about in previous videos. I'll unpack this movie again. Right? Now that we have as our understanding levels up, right? And it's called Frequency. And the idea was there was a man in his home that got heard a radio, a ham radio that his father used to have, started working. There was some atmospheric event that had to do with the Aurora Borealis, that he could now communicate on this radio with his father 30 years in the past. So he's communicating, talking to his father. His father is in 1969. His son is in 1999. And he's talking to his father. You should see this movie. It's great. A lot of ideas that we talk about are presented there. Right? And the house is very gloomy because he lost his father in a fire. His father's a firefighter. It was a firefighter. 30 years ago, in 1969, on the very day they're talking, was the day that his dad was going to go into this warehouse or this fire. And so as he's talking to them, and of course they go through all this thing where his dad can't believe it, he can't believe it, there's a lot of denial there, right? We want to deny this stuff, right? And he he talks about the Mets and calls a game back in 1969, and all of this while he's talking to his father, right? As they figured it out, right? And he tells his father not to go in this warehouse. So as he does that, the past changes. He's remembering now the past differently. And there's even one moment where he's at the desk. This is the son, right, in 1999. And the father's at the same desk in the same house in 1969, right? And as they're talking to him, the cigarette falls on the desk. The cigarette falls out of the ashtray and burns the desk. And as the burn mark shows up in that present day as he's talking to him, because remember, that's a new event, right? In the past. So remember, the idea is that you're creating the past right now. It's a cool sci-fi movie to point to some of these metaphysical ideas. It's not perfect in that way, but his memories return because his dad took a different route. His dad didn't die in the fire. Right? And so now memories return of him and his father together that he didn't have prior. This is what we're talking about. This is the power we're talking about. It all happens now. So what do I do? Remember now. Just like in the movie Frequency. Right? Remember it the way you would like to do it right now. That changes everything. You're creating it all now. Remember, what is memory? It's a mental image. It's an imaginal act. Right? You can imagine your past just as easy as you can imagine your future. Because it's all right now. That's why. Right? You think you're imagining something in the future, you're imagining it right now. It's an image that exists now. Same with memory. It's an image that exists now. And just because you're holding on to some certain image or some certain memory, there are infinite possibilities, infinite memories. This is what A Course in Miracles says. There is no link of memory to the past. If you would have it there, then it's there. You see, you create that idea. There's no link. It's just all what you imagine right now. This is who you are. I am. You're all that is. All possible images exist here and now. All possible multidimensional identities of you exist here and now. Not in the past and in the future, but in the now. You see, and what we do is we string together, right? We thread together a series of events that we call our past, our present, and our future, right? But that's all done in the now moment. So when you redefine yourself, who you are, in the now moment, everything changes. You as all that is. This is you as that multidimensional being that you are, with all possible images existing here and now. Creating this idea of who you define yourself to be here and now. Are you going to keep telling the story that I haven't manifested it yet, that I haven't become that person I desire to be? Then you keep creating that idea in the present moment, that it hadn't happened in the past, it still hasn't happened, and it may or may not happen in the future. Or tell the story that you are that person you desire to be. Change all time from that present moment, from the vertical, from that now moment. Decide that, you know what, I've always been that person I've desired to be. I've always had those things that I desire. You change the past. You change the present. You change the future, all in the now moment, because it's all happening now. It's not a placeholder. It's all that is. It's all happening now. There you are in the vertical. You're not remembering the past. You're creating it right now by deciding, who am I? What's my ideal? What's the ideal life and identity that I want to be? I'm going to be that now. I'm going to walk in that knowing now. And I know as I do that, I reshape, rearrange, and recreate that entire linear horizontal experience that I call my reality. Wow. All right now. Remember, all possibilities exist. You're not remembering the past. You're creating it right now. I am your host, Tom Kearin, And these are the studios of Be Something Wonderful, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, thank you. Thank you for being with me. Be sure to check out our video on the Tom Kearin YouTube channel. That's going to be also available today for viewing. That's at the Tom Kearin, last name Kearin. Look for us there and subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. And also, we're going to have our 4th live event in April. There'll be a live announcement coming on this channel, Be Something Wonderful, and the Tom Kearin YouTube channel. Until next time, creators, with great love, with great light and infinite gratitude, this is Tom Kearin here in the studios of Be Something Wonderful. We'll see you soon.